Hello and welcome to our Tarkov stim tier list. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to be ranking all the stims. And first things first, we have Adrenaline. This one, not really great. Gives you a little bit of stam recovery, some very mediocre health regen. Not really a great reason to use this one. Next we have the AF1M. This one is not very good, mostly because of this Zigustin. It stops bleeding for a minute. So stopping bleeding for a minute is not very good. So it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's going down there at the bottom where it belongs. Next we have the Obelodes. So this one's actually pretty all right. It gives you like some pretty mediocre endurance and stress resist and other stuff, and it lasts a long time, but it's a coin flip though. It's got a chance to give you a lot more or like a 20% more damage for the whole 1800 seconds. So because of that extra damage, it's probably like potentially the worst one. It's like really a coin flip, and it's honestly not even worth the coin flip. The stats it gives you are kind of bad. Personally, I never use this one because of that. Next, we have the SJ1. This one is a little better. So SJ1, it's still not very great. It gives you a little endurance, a little strength, so it'll help you run at the start. But yeah, there are better stims if you're trying to run. That's the main problem with it. Now we have the next one, everybody's favorite, the SJ6. So if you're trying to rush across the map, run into a hot spot, this bad boy will let you go real fast. It'll turn you into Sonic. That's a great choice right there. Next we have the SJ9. So unless you're like getting suppressed shot at on woods, the SJ9 is a stim that lets you lower your body temp, kind of look like a cultist. So it's only useful for countering thermals. So it's not very good. Oh, sorry, I actually made one mistake here. I got one of these stims mixed up. Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, this one prevents bleed. I thought that I got that mixed up with something else. I didn't. Next one. Morphine. So main problem with this one is price. And honestly, you should use a Golden Star or ibuprofen. Morphine is like 10, 15K versus, you could spend like 60K and get like a 15 use ibuprofen. The math just doesn't check out. The only difference between a morphine is that it's fast, but there's more issues with the morphine besides that. So the morphine is one of the worst painkillers in the game because it only is a painkiller. Next, we have the ETGC. This one is borderline gonna go up here. So if you're about to die, you pop one of these and you'll be fine in about 3 seconds. It's a very strong stim. Gives you just insane health regen is really the main thing. You always see it's a bit of a staple of Chad's. Next we have the Zigustin. So this is basically why this AHF1M sucks. So this just prevents bleeds, but this kind of fixes bleeds and prevents them. So this is really the best of both worlds because you don't really want to preemptively pop a stim for bleeds. You're kind of like more so hoping to not be bleeding, and then like if you are, this is an option to fix it and prevent it, and it's just much better. So that's really the reason why this is all the way down there. So, and then next we have the L1. So this is kind of like the budget SJ6. It gives you more stam recovery and extra stamina. So you pop this at the start and you can run pretty far. It's pretty decent if you're trying to run across like all the interchange like a maniac. Yeah. A little more situational though. Not quite as strong either. And then next we have the Melodonin. Oh, I will say this. This is kind of budget sometimes, so it's not too bad. Bit of a sleeper. This is actually probably the main reason I made this list. So this is a total sleeper. This gives you 900 seconds of damage resistance, right? So I think it's 20% damage resistance. I'm just double checking here. Oh, sorry, 10% damage resistance, but it's still pretty good, and it's got a 900-second duration. So you pop this on factory, on customs. If you're about to get shot up and you think you're going to have to fight off a bunch of people, or you can even pop this on labs, this is a great combat stim to go ahead and pair with these other ones. Next, we got Propatol. I'd say Propatol's a little better. It gives you, so the main benefits of Propatol is that it's cheap. It's only about 20K. It's a painkiller, making morphine redundant. And it's a budget ETG6. So if you're only a little hurt, you pop a Propatol, you're good. Or you can even, they're so cheap, you can just pop it before a fight. And it's almost like a Melodonin because it's going to give you some healing over time. So if you pop these two together, or you even pop one of these with one of these, you're pretty roided up. Next we got the Mule, so as the name suggests, just lets you mule a bunch of junk out of the raid. It's good, definitely worth a slot in the injector case, but it's going to give you some damage vulnerability, and it's something you want to pop right at the end of the raid. And they're very expensive. If they were cheaper, I'd put them up here, but they're about like 100K right now, and I really can't put them higher just because of the cost. So you have to be, I would say, if you got about 500K worth of juice, you want to pop one of these and get out. Next we've got the P22. So this is actually kind of like this Melodonin up here. But the main problem with this is, in my opinion, it's really only good on factory or labs, because it gives you 60 seconds of 10% damage reduction, which is the main thing with the P22. But the main thing is that 60 seconds just really isn't a lot of time for a stib. This could really use a duration buff. If it was 120 seconds or 180 seconds, I could actually see people really using this one. But at the moment, no, it's not very great at all. And then here we've got the last remaining stims here. This one is the rat stim, and this is the cultist stim. So just wrapping this up. So this one lets you hear a lot better. It gives you like 30 perception and attention, and it's really only great if you're trying to sit in a bush and hear for people, especially if they don't know you're there. Honestly, I might even bump it down here because you have to pop it, and it's pretty loud to just pop stims. So like, it's very situational because of that. I've never really used it to much success, especially now that they nerfed perception. Maybe before they nerfed perception, it would have been pretty good, but not now. And then this is just the cultist this is the Antidote. The main problem with this is if you know you're hunting cultist, you can just bring the little augmentin or whatever and just pop it to get rid of it, or you could just leave the raid. So this is kind of redundant. Yeah, all these stims here are kind of redundant. So yeah, I hope you like the tier list here. Now you know, if you're new to Tarkov, these are the good stims up here to use, especially these top row. If you're not using stims, you 100% should. They change your, they really change your play style, and they change how effective you can be. Yeah, if you're not using stims, use them. Get an injector case. And bring a Propatol, bring an ATG6, bring it as Augustin, bring these stims. You're going to need them. And I hope you enjoyed this tier list. Peace.